Okay, so Bitcoin is now sitting at 63K. We are pulling into some strong support down here. We did see some consistent support show up at this 64.7K range, but unfortunately it did get pretty cut through. It looks like sellers started showing up, broke that ratio discrepancy needed to create the support signal band, and now we've fallen into a 62.7K low. In other words, we've only fallen through the floor here about $2,000. Not such a bad thing, not a huge deal, but we are meeting this range with massive support. I mean, you can see here we're getting some light Ruby mine signals, of course, 1 to 2.5% bands and 2.5 to 5% bands lighting up at the same time. So double overlay type confluence and a dual band confluence. We have aggregated spot markets really widening out in favor of the bulls. A massive bid-ask spread in favor of the aggregated perp markets. You can see our RSI has been nuked a couple times. So I guess happy Friday, but this isn't really a red flag to me. I think this is actually a good buy, good long. So our range above 60,000 and below 70,000 is still very much intact. Obviously, we're on the bottom end of that right now, but things are still looking really good. Um, and if you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to ask in the comments. And of course, check out sazanalytica.com, join the Discord, check out the our GigaTrend indicator and our daily analysis and stuff like that in Discord VIP for free for 2 weeks. So be sure to check that out, guys. Um, we had a CME gap that is now filled. Let's see what else we got. We got a CME gap here. Wait. The close was here. All right. So we had a CME gap, right? No, we didn't have one. All right. No, we're just we're pretty sealed up on gaps right now. And again, what I think is happening is we're just chopping through a range sideways until the halving. But looking at this now, uh, yeah, looks a little depressing. Let's look at the daily on a regular chart. We're just settling into this pocket where we had our previous most bit of price discovery, other than something like 50 low 50,000s, and of course the low to mid 40,000s. So right now we're checking the support range and how we behave in the $60,000 range. And so far we're doing a good job. So far this is actually looking really clean. I think we can go sideways with 60K or slightly above 60K being the bottom and probably something like 70K or around there being the top end of the channel going into the halving, which is now only about you know 30 days away, something like that. So as far as GigaTrend is concerned, we're on a closed daily long. Let's take a look at the 4 hour on Bitcoin. We're in a closed long. So we're awaiting the new position open. Currently on the 4 hour, we're actually these moving averages are behaving very proper here on the 4 hour chart. We are being supported by the long term, in this case, the 200 period moving average, rejected by the short-term moving average, and then we're now also dealing with a bearish crossover, a death cross of the 50 and the 128. Is that what I have here? Let me see here. 125, 53 and 125 and 206. So right now that's what it's looking like. We are dealing with some technicals that seem to be playing out on the 4 hour. So yeah, hey Karen, what's up? It's great to see you. Man, great to see you here, Karen, and hope all's well. So, yep, I am, I'm not really too bearish right now. I think that 60K range, I mean, look at the 4 hour 60K range right here. We held, pretty well, number of days at least. So, yeah, I'm really liking this actually. I'm liking what I see here. I think this is a good support range, in other words. Gigatrend on the 4 hour with Solana. We're in a closed long position, awaiting a new position, but this is looking pretty good right now. We have a kind of a bear trap, appearance of a bear trap right now. Bitcoin is going down. It's good to see altcoins going down. That's a little more normal of a behavior. I don't think the legit full-blown bull market has come around. Otherwise, we'd see a lot more altcoins pumping like crazy or having pumped like crazy and then starting to do this kind of wobbly stuff. But yeah, Solana closed long. Pape, we're waiting the same thing. We had a 450 or so percent position from the open to this close. Obviously, with some opportunities to have closed out percentage of your profit and percentage of your trade and greater profit. But if this then that, the cycle top is in. That's absolutely not true. I. Why do you say that? Why do you say that, bro? All right, and then looking at something, Shiba, behaving a little bit more, I think like Bitcoin. Or obviously it had a massive rip to the upside. Now we're dealing with a horizontal here that is looking pretty solid in terms of resistance. What once was support with lower highs, consistently lower highs became a breakdown into a area where we now have a double support zone, failing to make higher highs, but that resistance line is there nonetheless. And I'll draw that in real quick. And bam. All right, so here we are. Here's our resistance area. This was support, 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 and now obviously you can see its resistance here, especially, but within the vicinity, these two peaks. So I guess the burden is to make the higher low yet again, and we'll see what Bitcoin does same way. Higher low, our 200 moving average is cutting up, so higher low indeed would make sense. Okay, Karen. Yeah, you can text me anytime. You have my number, right, Karen? I can get that done real easy, Karen. I can get that done real easy. I think we made an agreement a while back. Happy to honor that same agreement. Do I think we'll go to 59K, 48K? Um, 59K, that's close to that 60K mark. A little breach of the channel makes sense. 49K, which would be, um, yeah, I think eventually we will be at this to check this support range. I think that we have a lot of good things coming though. I mean, I think we go sideways until the halving. I think it's possible that after the halving, people get a little depressed. People think that, oh man, well we were at all-time highs before the halving, and this isn't looking great after the halving, which I don't expect it to look great after the halving for at least 3 to 6 months. So what I would say is, yeah, after the halving, once people start to think that the cycle top is in, more people start thinking like if this and that, um, then yeah, I think that depression will create a bit more sell side resistance or sell side pressure, I should say, and yeah, we'll push down. But we have a lot of we do have a couple support levels. We have the 43K range, we have the 51K range, and right now we're dealing with the 60K range. So we do have a couple spots, but we were talking about this almost the entire way up, that we went very far very fast, and we didn't really build a solid structure based on price discovery mentality. So yeah, I'm thinking this 60K. Look, obviously stop losses can be triggered, liquidation hunts can, we can undergo a few of those, and price can dip a little bit below. Look at this wick for example, we came down to about 59K, 59.1. Yeah, 59,180 or something like that. So, I don't want to say it's off the table. I'm just, throwing out some generalities here. So, and you guys know me, I'm more of a short-term guy. My long-term predictions are pretty solid. But the thing about a long-term prediction is it's kind of like hitting a moving target in the dark wall, blindfolded. It's just a little more difficult. So I like to be a little more general on my price calls, especially long-term ones. If I'm off by $1,000 at this point, that's that's 1 point something percent. Not a big deal. Not enough to get you liquidated unless you're fucked, trading degen. But yeah. So I think we will go to check the bottom of this range. Do we puncture it? Possibly. But going into the halving, just generally speaking, a channel between 60 and 70K. 60K low, 70K high. That absolutely makes sense to me. That's how I see things playing out. So, yeah, didn't plan on staying for too long here, guys. If you have any other questions, let's see. But if this and that points out, if those that know won't explain why. Well, look, man, I'll be honest with you. A lot of people think they know a lot of things, dog. And taco liquor, high 50s, not wrong. But if this and that, a lot of people think they know a lot of things. A lot of people think that they're cool with people that know things on the inside. And a lot of people think that they're close enough to those people that they have a good idea of what's going to happen. I can tell you in my experience that I've heard so many fucking people think that they're on the inside. Employees of big companies telling me what's going to happen in price. And I tell them, look, no, I disagree. And I don't think I've been wrong. Um, I'd be the greatest trader in an honest market. Probably, yeah. I mean, I just came in 60% profit on the last competition. Unfortunately, not first place, but 60% profit, pretty decent. I don't think I went above 10x, making 60% profit in 70 days. That was pretty G. Obviously in a traditional market, yeah, if I had an order book too, which I probably won't get. I have done some research into that, but don't think I'll get an order book very often for many assets in a stock in the stock exchange. But I'm a pretty good trader in this market. So yeah, I think that the skills that you carry over from crypto make you exponentially better in slower moving assets. You just got to learn patience. So obviously I'd need a um, salary and obviously bonuses. But yeah, crypto is a totally different life. You're kind of worried about yourself. Ryan S, it's fantastic to see you, brother. Been a long time. Always good to see you. Fuck, man. Fights have been pretty crazy for past you know, UFC 299 was fantastic. Hope you were watching. So, yeah, guys, I'm over here. Life is good. Um, Still in Midwest. Just dealing with life's ups and downs, keeping positive at all times, thankful to God for every moment that I get a breath to breathe, food to eat, water to drink, a roof above my head. Always humble, tell you. Humility is one of the most liberating things you can possibly have. Arrogance and pride are just gonna spill you over, man. So I've really really changed a lot in the past year. In fact, you guys have seen me change. A lot of you guys have been watching me for a long time. Many, many, many years now. Let's see, 6 years? 6 years, guys. Holy shit, dog. So, yeah, just constantly growing, getting older, wiser. Am I on the move again? What do you mean? I will be moving, but I'm staying in the Midwest, close to my son. And winter was fucking easy out here. There was like a little bit of a bad winter for 2 to 3 weeks, but it was it was very bad, very bad. And I'm gonna leave it on signals right now so we can watch this as we progress moment to moment. Um, but the winter got negative a couple times, and it was kind of funny because I've never experienced such a massive, like, 7 degrees. I remember this. It was like -8 degrees or something. Wind chill obviously was much worse. And then it got to like 0 degrees, and it was so funny because everyone was so fucking happy. It went from negative something to just slightly above zero. And you saw people in their fucking puffy jackets and shorts and tennis shoes going to the grocery store and buying their goods. And it was a sunny day, so everyone was out, dude. It was hilarious. There's still fucking an inch thick of ice on the ground. It's still miserable to drive. Very stressful, actually. Um, especially with the wrong equipment, you know. But man, it was so funny, dude. It's like what seven. I've never seen 7 degrees make such a difference in weather. Look, growing up in California, 70 to 77, no difference. 90 to 97, 100 to 107, really you don't feel it. But out here, the difference between -7 and 0 degrees Fahrenheit is massive. It was fucking awesome. It was pretty hilarious. Drinking a Corona. A little early, you might say, yes, but I've been on a very weird sleeping schedule lately, so this is actually kind of like my evening. Duncan in Japan, what's up, brother? Hope all is well. Great to see you here. Fantastic to see you. I should hit you up, man. I gotta check in on you. So yeah, winter, but other than that 2, 3 weeks out here, winter has been nothing. I mean, it snowed today. It's like an inch, 2 inches of snow. Maybe a little bit harder to get William to school, but overall good. So yeah, to anyone that's joining right now, I just want to bring everyone up to speed. I am thinking that the range is intact. I like what I see. I think our range high is, I'm just going to round it out to 70K because I do think we can break that resistance. We do have a tendency right now to be breaking resistance, but this will get exhausted at some point, and we have been talking about that for a while. Distance between all-time highs, distance between all-time highs falling off, and that's what made my ultimate call in the last bull market cycle top. Distance between all-time highs and pullbacks. Um, so now we are dealing with a very strong, consistent support range for a number of reasons. Going back into it, first and most importantly is probably our first area of legitimate price discovery, which you can see highlighted by this line. You know what? Um, I'm gonna do a green line. This is, since it's support, we'll do green. And you can see that I'm just kind of drawing it as so it cuts through this price discovery range where it's probably like one of the very few spaces in time where we actually consolidated um, from 50K on up, for above 50K. We've grinded our way to a higher, higher highs after higher highs after higher highs, but the only place where we really had any price discovery was at 61, let's just say 60K. So, yeah, as far as I'm concerned, this is looking like good support, and it's reflected clearly in the order book. You can see when we came down here the first time, it was just lit the fuck up, beautiful shit, just totally supported. Look at the bid-ask spread here, bid-ask spread aggregated spot, aggregated perps. You can see as we climbed out of the hole, things got pretty bad pretty quick, but coming right back into this pocket, we're entering the low 60,000s, just below 63K. Between that and 60K flat is, to me, the low 60,000s. And you can see as we're going down, a massive dominance in the bid-ask spread in favor of the bulls, and a widening bid-ask spread perps in favor of the bulls. So I like what I see. I think this is normal. I think this is healthy. If anything, I actually really do think this is healthy for the longevity of the bull run. The price discovery that we establish here may very well be equivalent to the price discovery we had at 30,000 the past bull market. Let me go back to the daily here for a sec, guys, and hide some signals. Now, you can see 30K was some good price discovery. We did cut through that pretty fast, but we came back and supported it. We spent a lot of time in that 30K range, supported again, and it was support one last time before it broke down. Of course, it was a bit of resistance on the way back up, and then we killed it and took off. So this is a unique situation, a very unique market scenario. But yeah, I think it's very possible that this 60K that we're kind of building some price discovery around could very well be something to that effect in going into this bull market in the future. I think looking at the next year or so from now, year to a year and a half, let's say, and let's just play out this entire scenario for all of you guys that want to know my thoughts on the future of the next year and a half. We probably go sideways through a channel into the halving. We probably expect more to come post halving. If it doesn't come within the first couple weeks, a new all-time high, something like that. Um, and it's like let's say a price of 85,000. If I don't think that if we can hit 85,000 within 3 weeks after the halving, then we're probably going to pull back to a point of stronger support. And I do think that point of strongest support is probably going to be the 40,000s. Could be the 50,000s, very low 50,000s, but most likely what I think it is the low 40s. So we check that. It would look pretty nasty at that time, but I'll tell you, it's just going to be more of a psychological devastation than an actual physical devastation. So I think price will be supported at the very least above 40K post halving. Makes a lot of sense to me. And within 3 to 6 months after the halving, after we resolve a lot of that fear, the mainstream stuff will kick in. The election cycle will come around. Everything's gonna start pointing toward Trump. With Trump being the Republican primary and the most likely to win, it will make the markets very bullish. And I believe that that bullishness is going to drive um, a lot of money into the markets, crypto markets, stock markets, all that shit. People are going to feel more comfortable spending money on things that they believe will have value five, at the very least, 4 years from now. So obviously Trump won't be able to run a third time, right? So people are basically making a 4 year bet as of the moment that it's very clear that these witch hunts against Trump aren't really working out, and you know the law has been weaponized and the courts have been weaponized by Democrats and so forth, and I just it's very clear I think to a lot of people what's going on. I see a lot of good stuff happening, but obviously it's going to be a bumpy year. But hey, this is the year, man. You guys, we're Bitcoiners and we've been talking about this forever, man. We've been expecting some fucking revolt. I always say Bitcoin is a revolt without a single bullet needing to be fired. But it's very clear that especially over the past 4 years, we've clearly proven that there's a lot of mindless sheep in the house, and a lot of minds that don't belong to the people whose body they're in. A lot of people that are just total sheep, total fucking matrix minded people, NPCs, for those of you who know what that is. So it's very clear that we're dealing with a time in human history where that's being exploited. The NPC sheep mentality is heavily being exploited. I mean, think about what people did in 2020. People fucking instead of racing to get cans of tuna and bullets and guns and food, I saw more cars stacked with toilet paper than I saw with survival essentials. And then I saw people wearing masks that were constantly proven not to work. And then I saw people getting a brand new vaccine saying this is the greatest thing ever and it's gonna work when we don't even have a vaccine for fucking cancer, AIDS, HIV, whatever, any of that shit, right? We don't have any of that. So yeah, this is a very interesting time in human history. I think this year is probably going to be one of the most important checks on that because a lot of us just went through something very terrible over the past few years, and I think a lot of people woke up as a result of that. A lot of people that were kind of that were on the fence really started to see the true colors, right? A lot of people that were on the fence fell deep into the hole too. A lot of people fell deep into the trap. So yeah, I think this year there's a big play out after the Trump gets kind of put in the front lines, the forefront of the Republican Party, the clear, obvious choice of the people. The markets will be more bullish based on that alone. And yeah, I'm seeing that being a strong bullish case scenario for Bitcoin's six figures by the end of the year. I think that's strong. I really think that's a strong possibility. So, anyways, that's kind of how I see the next year playing out, the rest of this year playing out, into next year playing out. So, yeah, everyone, I guess I'll wrap it up there. Not much more to say. Um, let's see, the same people that didn't let him win last time won't let him win this time. I don't know, man. There's a lot more angry people with guns now than there were back then. So, we'll see. USA all the way. Um, but yeah, much love to you all, guys. Much love to you all. Hope you stay strong, stay healthy, stay wise, and do your push-ups, do your sit-ups, turn the shower water cold, test yourselves every day, even through little things like that. And yeah, always feel free to reach out if you have any questions. All right, everyone, take care. See you next time. Peace.